name is probably wallet, keys and a little bit of lint. So while the fact that the US has enabled Saudi Arabia is nothing new, the extent to which Trump is prioritising money above all else is really dangerous. Is it any wonder that they have been emboldened here? After MBS's roundup of his rivals, Trump tweeted his support. After his blockade of Qatar, Trump, for some reason, took credit for it. And that kind of shit has consequences. Time and again, Trump has chosen extreme friendliness with MBS, a leader who, in the words of one Saudi critic, has created a climate of fear and intimidation, going on to say, "We Saudis deserve better." That critic was Jamal Khashoggi, the journalist who is widely thought to have been murdered in the Saudi consulate. And while Trump has said that Saudi Arabia faces severe punishment if it's proven that they were behind this, does anyone really believe that that is something that he's honestly committed to? A much more revealing response came in the Oval Office after the news of Khashoggi's disappearance broke. Just watch him render in real time the cost-benefit analysis that he was applying to the situation.
Again, this took place in Turkey, and to the best of our knowledge, Khashoggi is not a United States citizen. Is that right? Or is that right? He's a permanent resident, okay. We don't like it, John. We don't like it, and we don't like it even a little bit. But as to whether or not we should stop $110 billion from being spent in this country, knowing they have 4 or 5 alternatives, 2 very good alternatives, that would not be acceptable to me.
He is openly demonstrating to the entire world, and to Saudi Arabia specifically, that arms deal much more important than butchered journalist. Look, clearly, giving Saudi Arabia green lights for 2 solid years has had consequences, and a lot of people now have some big decisions to make. The second annual Davos in the desert begins 9 days from now, and already all of these companies have pulled out, although as of right now, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is still planning to attend, which is ridiculous. The desert is comfortably hot enough without that smoke show. Am I right? Am I right? Smoke show, right? He can get it. That's a fuck me face. Am I right? Am I right on that? Now, as for the WWE, while they say they are monitoring the situation, their gigantic crown jewel event is still scheduled for November, meaning John Cena could well be back there doing this, which I guess in this context would mean you don't see these human rights abuses right here. As for the president, again, look, every US leader has chosen to make compromises when it comes to Saudi Arabia, but Trump may well be the first one who doesn't see it as a compromise. Because he and MBS are similar in some of the worst possible ways. They both love money, they're both a product of inherited wealth, they both love self-promotion yet disdain the press, and they even both share a design aesthetic that amounts to Elvis tries to remember what Versailles looks like, but can't. And Trump's intense bromance with MBS is bad news, because when you set no boundaries on an oppressive regime, they are always going to ask themselves, how much can we get away with here? And as we saw this week, the answer to that may well be pretty much anything.